Hey there friends, I'm Melanie and you're watching akaMommy, and today I wanted to go ahead and share with you what we will be using for math in our 2017-2018 homeschool school year. If you are brand new to my channel, I am a homeschooling mom of 4. My oldest is going to be in 10th grade this year. My youngest is only 3 years old, so she's definitely more of a pre-K. And then I also have one going into 8th grade, and then my son will be going into 2nd grade. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys in today's video what we will be using for our math curriculum this year. Okay guys, so because it's pretty simple, I'm just gonna share with you first what I will be using for my son. He is my one and only son. He will be going into 2nd grade this year. And we decided this year to go with the Horizons. I know that Horizons is a really popular math curriculum for kids, and I can absolutely understand why. I purchased this after doing a lot of research online. Now, 2nd grade, I really think that it's important for him to be doing some math, but I don't expect for him to be spending a lot of time on math. But math is also an area where he has always kind of excelled, and it's never really been a big struggle for him. When he was 5 years old, he was already doing basic addition flashcards, and he was just flying through those things really quickly. I was actually kind of stunned. He might have only been 4 at the time. But regardless, math is something that he tends to pick up on very quickly, and so I really want to not be too lax about it. I want to take advantage of that and make sure he's doing a curriculum. So we decided to go with Horizons, and the reason that I decided to go with this is simply because while the very beginning is going to be extremely below his ability level at this point, as it goes on, he will get into things that he is learning now, which is, you know, subtraction. And this is much further on. Obviously, this is lesson 23 versus lesson 1. Now, Horizons math, basically, they do almost like a cyclical or oh, what is the word? I can't think of it. Cumulative. They do cumulative so that it's always repeating what you've previously learned. It's always reviewing. And so it builds upon what the children have already learned. And so we are really excited to use this for him. I've already sat down with him and showed him this whole book, and he's really excited about it. And my plan going into the school year for him is that I will probably pick out one page, depending on how easy the pages are, because in the very beginning they are really simple. I might even have him do 2 lessons a day. As they get a little bit older, he'll just do 1 lesson per day. If I feel like it's something that he just needs more time working on, then we'll just give him 1 page. Otherwise, we might do 2. And I did go ahead and purchase book 1 and book 2. Quite honestly, I don't know for sure how fast he's going to work through this book. I apologize, guys. I've got a hair that just will not stop scratching me. I don't know for sure how fast he's going to work through this. I kind of anticipate that it's going to be quickly, and so I didn't want to be sitting around with him going through this and then not have the follow-up one for him to work on. So I did go ahead and purchase book 2 as well, and I told him if you work through both of these and our school year is still not you know, finished, then I'll just purchase him the math. This is level 2. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. I'll purchase him level 3, and he's just going to keep going. So that is what we decided to go with for my 2nd grader this year. Okay, so the next one that I wanted to talk about is my 8th grader. Now, math is a subject for her that has always been a real struggle. I mean, it's like tears flowing quite frequently, because it's just not something that she gets as easily as some other people. However, literature and grammar and spelling, like, the girl knocks it out of the park. So she's a lot more like me in that respect. And I mean that, like, when I was in school, math was my hardest subject, and it really just, it took a really long time for it to click with me. And once it did, I was fine, and I flew through it. But for me, it was hard to remember all of the rules that you have to follow in math, as far as like algebra and so forth. And so math is something that she has always struggled with. And I just really try to help her, and I know that there can be a lot of pressure when you homeschool your kids to put them in the math that they technically should be in, but I don't want to do that. I want my daughter to work on what she needs help on, and so even though she will be going into 8th grade this year, she is actually going to be doing Math 6, and she finished Math 5 last year, so this is right where she should be. We are using teaching textbooks for her because she responds very, very well to the video instruction and the games that you can play, and she just does a really, really good job. So this did come with the CD-ROM set that you basically just, you can either load these onto your computer or you can just use the CDs as needed. But we are going to go ahead and use teaching textbooks for her, Math 6, and I mean, this actually is, I'm trying to remember, it also kind of does a review in the beginning. So in the beginning of the year, she's definitely going to feel like, you know, I got this down. It happens every single year. I mean, chapter 1 is whole numbers. That is pretty simple. She will not have a problem with those at all. But more towards the end of the school year, you know, she starts learning things like geometry. And so it definitely is going to cover a very, very wide range of topics for her. She just kind of, this is what she needed. And rather than feel pressured to get her you know, Math 7 or Math 8, I really just wanted to stick with what I knew she needed, and that's this. And with her, she is my child that I definitely have to spend more time with working on math. That is, she doesn't need my help really with grammar or literature or anything like that, but math is one that she frequently needs help with. And so we will be working on Math 6 for her this year. Okay, and so finally, as I mentioned to you in the beginning of this video, I will also have a 10th grader, and she is going to also be using teaching textbooks this year, and I'll talk to you guys here in just a minute why I chose to go this route, but she will be starting geometry. Last year, she used Matthew C. She used Matthew C, and she did algebra, and algebra was not super easy for her, but she managed, and she actually made an A in the class. She did really well. But for me, personally, algebra was a lot harder than geometry or trigonometry. I took geometry and trig in high school, and they were both way easier for me than algebra was, which is kind of funny because geometry and trig are a lot more about the rules. If you know the rules, then you can pretty easily work through the problems, in my opinion. So she will be doing geometry. She saw the size of this workbook and she was like, Mom, that does not look fun at all. And of course, it also came with the discs that we can preload onto her computer, or she can just work directly off those. And all of the math curriculum that I purchased with teaching textbooks, I bought the pack that also came with the answer key and the tests. So I can go back and, you know, help them if I get completely confused about something. It really helps me as well. So again, my 10th grader, we will be using teaching textbooks, and she will be in geometry this year. Okay guys, so let me talk to you just really briefly about why we chose to go with teaching textbooks for my two oldest children. We have used a variety of different math programs for them. My 8th grader actually used teaching textbooks last year, and that's how we found out that it was really conducive to the way that she learns. We've also used Abeka in the past. We have used Switched on Schoolhouse a few years back. Last year, my oldest used, like I said, Matthew C. So we have tried a lot of different programs, but I really like the teaching textbooks because with my kids, they can start their math, they can put on their headphones, and they can really focus on what they're learning. And in my opinion, the teaching textbooks program does such an amazing job of explaining everything step by step by step. There's a lot of repetition in it, and I just find that my kids really learn the concepts a lot better that way. Plus, I can always go back if one of them has a problem, and I can watch the video explaining everything if perhaps I need a refresher as well, and I can sit down with them then and say, okay, this is how you do this, and it just makes it a lot easier. Math is not one of the things that I set aside time for to teach my kids every single day. I am available to help them during their math time, but I do not sit down and teach math. And the primary reason for that is because, like I said, I have a 2nd grader an 8th grader and a 10th grader, and I can't teach all 3 maths. Does that make sense? So I really needed a program that was going to teach my children and not just hand them a textbook and say, okay, you need to read this and figure out how to do it. I really felt like they just learn better when they see it on a video and they hear it audibly. It just seems like it sinks in better for them. Plus, I really like that with the teaching textbooks, I'm trying to see right here, it says with automated grading. Or yes, with automated grading. Basically what happens is as your child is doing the work, it tells them before they even go on to the next problem if they got it right or wrong as they're doing some of the problems. And if they got it wrong, they have the ability to go back and see the solution and see how it should have been done, which in my opinion is absolutely priceless. You need to be able to see what you're doing wrong before you do an entire lesson wrong. It also grades all of their tests, and I can set it up, I believe, if I remember correctly, so that I will be able to, on my computer, go and look, pull up their grades instantly and see, okay, where are they struggling? How many did they miss here? Do we need to review a little bit more in this area? And so forth. And so it really gives me a way to assess where my child is without actually having to sit down and hand grade every single paper that they do. If you are a homeschool parent and you have more than one child, especially if your children are getting a little bit older, you start to understand it takes a really long time to grade all of their work. And so any help that I can get is absolutely welcome, in my opinion, especially since I will also be teaching 2 classes at our homeschool co-op this year. And so I will be working on preparing lessons for those classes, grading lessons, and so forth. So any extra help that I could get from the automated grading was welcome. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this video. I hope that you have enjoyed hearing a little bit more about the curriculum choices that we will be using in the 2017-2018 school year. I wanted to mention also that if you are not a subscriber to my channel and you would like to be, make sure that you hit the subscribe button before you go. I upload content relating to homeschool, relating to general mom life, occasional day in the life videos, and my most popular videos here on my channel are my grocery hauls. I don't know what it is. Everyone just loves to see, myself included, loves to see what other people are buying at the grocery store. So if you would like to do that, make sure that you subscribe before you go. If you are a subscriber that's been with me for a while, thank you so much for always showing your love and support by watching my videos, giving them a thumbs up, and leaving me comments down below. It really does mean the world to me. If you missed my most recent video, it will pop up on the screen right over here for you guys. And if you are not a subscriber and you would like to be, that will be an option right over here. You can click on my face and it will take you to my channel where you can subscribe before you go. Until next time, you guys, take care, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.